Hello, hello. Welcome to the War on Wellness. Today's topic, we're talking about hormone havoc. What is wreaking havoc with our hormones and what we can do about them? So, I'm Penny, also known as Plant Based Penny. Welcome to all those who are joining on Facebook and on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up or hello. You can hear me well and you can see me also. Let me know, and that way I will know that we are all on board. Yes. Okay, very good. Good to see you. Good to see you. Wonderful. We have our Instagrammers here. We have our mom, we have Nadine, we have Tessa, Willie, Peter, we have Jackson. Yes, wonderful. Very good. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you all for being here. And so today, this is part two of what we talked about last week, which we talked about the top hormone disruptors and some of those chemicals. And we're going to continue that conversation with some surprising revelations. And I'm going to share with you the additional information and let you know about the upcoming webinar. So, yay! I'm happy that you're back with me on that. So, I had a really interesting conversation today. I had to go into a restaurant to get something, and this restaurant did not have a lot of plant-based friendly options, and I just happened to have a conversation with the chef. And I will tell you about that conversation when we get a little bit further down in the broadcast. So we're going to deep dive into hormone disruptors because it is so important. It affects every area of our life. And it is not just women, it is also men who are disrupted by hormones. So last week's live, if you missed last week's live, go back and you can still watch the replay for that. And if you it's on Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. So any of those platforms you can watch that on. So there is a watchdog group, and it's called the Environmental Working Group. And it talks about a lot of different things that I'm kind of a geek, so I do a lot of research. But I encourage you to do your own research. So the Environmental Working Group says that there are nearly 300 environmental chemicals found in people's blood and urine. So that just shows you how widespread and pervasive these disruptors are, and that they can be. So let's talk about the first one. And the first one is actually one of the reasons why I stopped eating, or stopped using rather, traditional toothpaste. Traditional toothpaste. And that is triclosan. Triclosan. So you can write that down. Triclosan. You look for that ingredient and it's on your toothpaste, then you're going to want to switch out to a toothpaste that doesn't have it in there. So triclosan is an antimicrobial agent, and it's in everyday items, not just toothpaste, but it's also in soaps. And if your soap doesn't have an ingredient list, you can normally go to the internet and type in the brand name of your soap and find out what ingredients are in there. Your toothpaste should have ingredients listed on the box. It may not be listed on the tube, but it's normally listed on the box. If not, you can go to the internet again and find out what the ingredients are. Not just the active ingredients, because a lot of times the toothpaste manufacturers will just put the active ingredients on the packaging. But you want to know what all the ingredients are. And so triclosan is one. And triclosan disrupts the hormone function, especially the thyroid function, which is like your furnace and your energy system for your body. So it disrupts that. And it's also found in hand sanitizers. So put a yes in the comments if you've heard that we should not use hand sanitizers all the time. Put a Y in the comments if you've heard that. You can put an N in the comments if you have not heard that. But triclosan is an antimicrobial agent, remember? So it leads to antibiotic resistance. So it contributes to the antibiotic resistance. And what that means is that the microbes, they change, and they used to resist the bacteria, but they become resistant to the hand sanitizer or whatever it is, the soaps, because we use so much of it. And so it used to be that when we were using this soap or the hand sanitizer, and we'd use it every now and then for something else on special occasions. But now when you always use antimicrobial soap and you always use antimicrobial hand sanitizers and you always use the antimicrobial toothpaste, then it becomes quote unquote immune to the bacteria that we're trying to control. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So we want to make sure that you're looking for triclosan on your ingredients. Tri, Closan. Very simple. Triclosan. If that's on any of the ingredients that you're using, your personal care products like your lotions or your perfumes, your fragrances, or the toothpaste, the soap, or the hand sanitizers. Alcohol is sufficient for hand sanitizers. They really don't have to add a whole lot of other ingredients in order for it to work well for us. The second threat to our hormone systems is dioxins. So this will kind of move to the story I was telling you about earlier. But first, name a type of shellfish. If you put a type of shellfish in the comments and let me know what shellfish that you have heard of before. And we will look for those responses. And okay, I'm hearing N. So no for not hearing that hand sanitizers are something that we should not use all the time, but it is true. We should not use it on a regular daily basis all the time. We should wash our hands, not depend on hand sanitizer, and wash our hands with soap that is not antimicrobial, because then we're kind of doing the same thing. And plus, it's best to just wash our hands with soap and water and just rinse off, and use a disposable towel would be nice, but making sure that we're practicing the best options for us. Okay, so I have some answers for the types of shellfish. What do we have here? I'm going to go to my Instagram because I always seem to uh, favor. There we go. Miss New York 931. Crabs. That's right. You're welcome. She says, thank you for the information. Crabs is one type of shellfish. Very good. And other types of shellfish I have here. Let's see. Trella is saying another type of shellfish is is shrimp. Yep, shrimp is another type of shellfish. There is. So, okay, those are two of them. I'll name a couple more. I'll let you all type those in the comments as we come along. So, another significant disruptor is dioxins. Dioxins. And since I spelled the first one, I'll spell the second one. Dioxin. Very simple, with an S on the end. Dioxins. And that's a significant disruptor to our hormone systems. And a lot of people are not aware of how significant it is. So this is a byproduct of the industrial process, and our food is industrially processed. And there is waste that is also included in that process when our food is manufactured. And it can be found in animal fats. Animal fats. So dioxins are highly toxic. They're highly toxic. And they disrupt both the male and the female reproductive hormone systems, both of them. So a lot of times people think, oh, hormones, Playmate Penny, you must be talking about the women for that. So if I'm a guy, I don't have to worry about that. But if you are a man, and it's not just the reproductive system, but this is one that I'm going to focus on right here. If you are a man, or if you're a woman that loves a man, please share that infertility. I did look up, see if infertility is on the rise, and the information says that it's really no cause for concern. It's plateaued pretty much because it's only changing by 500,000 people. But if you're one of the 500,000, 500,000 people, then it does matter, and it is significant because that's a huge number of people. So if the change, however, and this is just how our systems work, if the change is not, over 500,000, then they say it's really insignificant. It's really insignificant. But as I always say, you must be your own best health advocate. And it may be significant for you, it may not be significant for someone else, but know what your numbers are. Understand that the things that we take into our body, those things affect us on many different levels. And it's not just the fact that we're going to get a fat tummy or something like that. Our hormone levels affect us, and they transcend just our gut and our flabby back. So there was a report. It was actually a 2019 article in the Bioreproductive article, and it was that male infertility is increasing due to environmental endocrine disrupting chemicals. That's exactly what I talked about. Well, I've been talking about it for a while, and actually I'm going to talk about it again more deeper on my upcoming hormone webinar, which is going to include the thyroid, is going to include all of the organs that are affected by the hormones. And so this article is saying that environmental chemicals are the reason that men's infertility is increasing, and also obesity. Because we know that obesity is something that is continuing to affect us. And yes, thank you, Miss New York 931. She says, great advice, be your own best health advocates. That is so true. Obesity is a widespread epidemic. And so there is, if there are 100 million people, and this is just with diabetes, who suffer from diabetes or pre-diabetic, then there are 100 million more customers for the pharmaceutical industry. And so how do you increase the number of customers for the billion-dollar industry? Well, you need to have more people join the ranks. So the baby boomers are phasing out, and then you have the next generation who are childbearing or who have born children, and so they have diabetes. And then what do you need to do to increase that number? You need to add to that, and that may be childhood diabetes. And so have you heard about childhood diabetes and the fact that that's on the rise? Because that is another unfortunate, another unfortunate effect or side effect of the standard American diet. And so we have to be aware of these hormones that are affecting us, but not just affecting us as adults, because I'm going to guess that's probably no kids or children watching, but they're also affecting our children. So that may be your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, your children, or children that you mentor or work with. These children are being affected by the foods that are eaten and also by the chemicals and the environmental chemicals. And we have those in our system. They disrupt our hormones and they can lead to a myriad of problems, including obesity. So the World Health Organization states that dioxins can cause the reproductive and developmental problems. Okay. Reproductive and developmental problems. And at least I have seen personally that developmental problems have been an increase. They've been on the increase. So that's one thing that dioxins cause, according to the World Health Organization. In addition to that, damage to the immune system. So if your immune system is damaged, then there's a greater chance of you catching viruses. They also interfere with hormones. So dioxins interfere with hormones and cause cancer. This is not plant-based Penny giving you this information. I am just a nerd who researches, and ever since I was in medical missionary school and traveling in 7 countries and 3 different continents, I just take in information, I research, I apply what I've learned from gurus and practitioners from across the globe, God's wisdom and grandma's remedies, and take all that, putting that together with my 34 years of corporate experience and my college degrees, putting that together, shaking it up, and giving it back to you in a way that you can understand that our health is our wealth. So dioxins are found in some soils because of pesticides and other products, but they're especially found in dairy products, in meats, fish, and shellfish. We talked about shellfish earlier, and we talked about the shrimp. So I'm actually doing a volunteer project with the Pathfinders, which is a unisex type scout group that's Christian based. So we're having a car wash. So I went to the restaurant so I can get some buckets to get donated to it. So anyway, I talked to the chef, and in my conversation with him, I said, well, I've never been to your restaurant before. I know, I'm really bold. I'm going to restaurants that I don't even patronize. Anyway, I said, I don't think that you have anything for vegans to eat. And he says, oh, wait, yes, I do. I said, well, I don't eat meat or meat byproducts. That would include dairy. He said, oh, no problem. You can eat shrimp. And I said, no, because shrimp had a mother. So anything that had a mother was born that was formerly alive. I am not, my body is not a waste receptacle. I didn't say that to him, but my body is not a waste management vessel. It is fearfully and wonderfully made, and I have chosen to be plant-based. It may not be for everybody, but that's what I've chosen, and it works well for me at 60 years old and only taking one pill for maintenance and not having any body aches at all, or any major health problems or surgeries. I've had one cavity in my life. Okay, yes. So I'll be 60. What will I be this year? I was born in 63. So yeah, 61 now. Right? Yes. Okay. I don't keep up with my age, people. I don't keep up with the age because it's really not important to me. It's really how I feel. So anyway, let's get back to shrimp. Let's get back to shrimp. So I want you to write down these numbers. Write down these numbers. Find a piece of paper, find a pen, or use the note on your use the note feature on your pad. Let's see what's the question here. You're welcome. Teresa says, thank you for sharing all your research on how to live a healthy lifestyle. You are quite welcome, Miss Floridian. I'm getting some warm weather up here finally. Thanks for sending it north so that we can have some here in Virginia. So, okay, I want you to write down the number 179. 179. And then under that, I want you to write the number 75. I'm not going to make you do the math. Hopefully you can see the math that 179 is significantly higher than 75. So shrimp has cholesterol. And I just want to share with you that shrimp has more cholesterol than chicken and beef. Okay, sorry. Hope that wasn't too loud for somebody's earphones. But shrimp has more cholesterol than chicken and beef. So shrimp has 179 milligrams of cholesterol. Chicken and beef of the same proportion has 75 milligrams. That's less than half of the amount of shrimp. So if somebody has high cholesterol and they're doing the shellfish, see, I got some more answers here. Shellfish, crabs, we got that. Shrimp, we got that. Oysters, clams, crayfish, or some people say crawfish. All of those shrimp boils, all of those happy little eating exercises, you can probably ask somebody who indulges in this type of eating, do you have high cholesterol? I mean, why not? Because people always ask people who don't eat meat, where do you get your protein from? And if they can ask that question, which somebody can perceive it as a personal question, then you can ask, where do you get your cholesterol from? So shellfish, shrimp especially, has more cholesterol than chicken and then beef. I am not advocating that you go eat chicken or that you go eat beef. I just want you to know what the truth is so that you can be your own best health advocate, okay? That's why I'm sharing this information with you. And so I have an upcoming webinar. It is Hidden Hormone Disruptors Unmasked. Hidden Hormone Disruptors Unmasked. And that is going to be June 19th. And it is not going to be open to the public and just general. If you're interested in that, put unmasked in the comments. Put unmasked or unmask me in the comments so that I know that you're interested in that webinar. You can simply put webinar in there as well, and I'll make sure that you get added to the list because we want to avoid these disruptors. And sometimes avoiding these disruptors can be challenging, but it is definitely crucial for our health. And awareness is the first step for making better choices. Being aware and making another choice, that is going to be your absolute first step. So yes, I am seeing webinar, and yes, I am definitely SDA. I was SDA born and raised, Miss New York. Certainly. And I am happy to share that information with you. And it really, because really, it's my passion. I mentioned I went to medical missionary school, but I mean, I had this passion even before I lived in Costa Rica for 2 years, and I did spend time at the beach, yes, but I also spent time in school and learning about the plant-based remedies and plant-based living and having to do that. So Teresa knows where this area is because that's where I met her in Costa Rica. And where we live, there is no hospital in that particular city. You have to travel about an hour, hour and a half, so depending on the traffic, to get to a hospital. So you needed to know how to manage your health in real time because it was definitely important and it was necessary in order to function and to function well. So I have the webinar coming up on June the 19th, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you there. Most definitely, if you want to reach me in the between time, my email address is there, life@plantbasedpennylife.com. Also, my website is plantbasedpennylife.com. If you missed any of the previous episodes, you can go back on my new YouTube channel, and see those there at Plant Based Penny. Contact me through social media, Plant Based Penny Life. I try to make it easy for you, so it's pretty much Plant Based Penny or Plant Based Penny Life for everything that you need to do to reach me. If you have any questions, let me know. Drop a comment below, and I look forward to sharing with you the actionable steps so that you too can look, live, and feel well, and to help you move from problems to progress with plant-based and natural solutions. Take care. We'll see you next week at 6 o'clock.